Today on The Grid, it's our Blind Photo Critiques episode. My guest is none other than Dave Cross, the Canadian boss. Plus, we've got some Lightroom news. We got some cool giveaways, including giveaways from someplace else. And as always, it always starts in just 60 seconds. The Grid is brought to you by Tamron. Check out their 28 to 75 millimeter f2.8 lens. It's for Sony full-frame mirrorless. It's awesome. Go to tamron-usa.com. And Westcott. Check out their new Rapid Box switch. It has 9 light modifiers and 13 quick swap light inserts. Check it out right now at fjwestcott.com. And ProPhoto, the light shaping company. Check out the ProPhoto B1X. Power in all the right places. Go to prophoto.com/US. And Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com. Hey everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. My name is Scott Kelby. And I am joined today by a very, very special guest. He's a foreign man from a foreign land. It's Dave Cross, the Canadian boss. Welcome to The Grid, Dave.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
I cannot believe this is your first time on The Grid.
Well, I tune in all the time, and I was going, hey, wait a minute. All those time we kept almost doing it, and it just never happened. So I was just like, hey, you know who's never been on this show? This guy.
Yeah, and you know what? You're on a perfect day because we're doing our blind photo critiques today. So people that are watching the show have sent us in their images. We're going to go through and give our honest blind critiques. We have some really interesting. I saw a couple of them right before we went on the air. Actually, let me resize my screen here a little bit. Well, that doesn't work. Anyway, that's just Adobe stuff. But we have lots of fun and exciting stuff, including some secret giveaways. I don't even know what they are, but I know this. They're from across the border, up north. We do have, of course, we're going to be giving away today, Platypod Ultra, the greatest. Everybody should have one of these. Everybody, oh my gosh. This is like what you use instead of a tripod now. The whole world is going, I have to get one of these because people don't stop me from using them. I shot last week the Library of Congress, so I got them to allow me to go in after hours, which is when you want to go. So you're not shooting through glass and stuff, and I got access to all these different places. And I had this bad boy with me. It's so great. So we're giving away the small version and the big version today. We are also giving away a $50 gift card to Lens Pro to go. Boom. Love them. I've only rented from them today. I had to call them for some gear today. They're the greatest. Victoria Pavlov, the fabulous, the beautiful, the amazing Victoria Pavlov is giving away 1 hour one-on-one Photoshop training.
Nice.
Just boom with Victoria. And my brand new book. This is the actual book, so it actually is off press. We have them here at our offices, which does you no good, but we do have one right here. Some lucky person is going to win one today. Now, if you go to Amazon, we're all discussing this right before the show. It was supposed to be in stock on the 18th. I believe it was in stock on the 18th for one brief day. It is now out of stock and it's showing August 31st. But you know who has them? And you can get them right now for what, 19 bucks did she say? Did she say
19 and change, I think.
19 and change from Rocky Nook. So go to rockynook.com. They have the print versions in stock right now. Darn cheap. Go get it. It's their latest version of Lightroom with all the profiles and stuff. All right, one more piece of news. So I was doing my Lightroom seminar in Washington, D.C. I mentioned to the crowd that I had one spot left for my Rome workshop. And a guy bought the ticket right there
Nice.
In the seminar. He bought it. So I was going to tell you that my Rome workshop is sold out, except for one of the people that has signed up for the workshop had to cancel.
Oh, no.
This person is going to be having surgery, and they're not going to be able to go. So now I'm back to one. So if you want to go to Rome, join the guy from Washington, D.C., who's really nice. I got to talk with him, a little super nice guy. So if you're a super nice guy or girl and you'd like to come to Rome next month and just hang out and have fun with me, I think you should do it. Go to my website, or actually just go to bit.ly.com, Rome with Scott, or you can find it on my Twitter or my Facebook. Just scroll down a few days and you'll finally find it. But we're going to have tons of fun. It's me and Mimo Madani. Do you know Mimo?
I know of him. I've not met him, but
You will love him, Dave. You will meet him one day. Oh, yes, you will.
I'm looking forward to it.
He's one of the greatest guys. So anyway, that's it. Want to look at some stuff?
Let's do it.
Let's start with our first one. So, and we don't know the people's names. That's why they're called blind photo critiques. Unless they put a watermark on it, we don't know who they are. So let's start with our first. We'll go through 3 images, and then we'll take a look. The second image, and the third image. There's so much potential here, Dave. There's so much unrealized potential. So, you know what it is? These are so close to being good shots. Like, for example, right here, you have a great idea. You got a nice line. You got all of these chairs and nobody's there, but there's 2 things that are killing it. Patterns are interesting, but if there was one of these umbrellas that was a different color, even if you had to go do it in Photoshop, this goes from being umbrellas to, ooh, cool shot. Right? It's missing that.
Right, because to me, it is very interesting, but it's like I don't quite know where to look. Whereas if you said if there was one umbrella that was different, you would kind of, your eyes would be drawn. Now, a little bit to the chairs that we're seeing.
That was my second part.
But that's about it.
So the second part is, to make this a great shot, you go down there and you fold up the chairs. You either pull them all up or you pull them all down. And you go, well, that seems like a lot of work. Yeah, that's that. But that would make a huge difference. I would put them all down since they're mostly down. But unless you're going to leave one up for effect. If you were going to leave one chair up and put but they're just kind of random. There's one up and then there's a bunch down and then there's another one up and then there's some down. Then there's 2 of them. It just isn't. But I see where you're going. This is a shot that has great potential. You stop just short, which brings us to this shot, which is another shot that has kind of great potential. Where this one fell down, I think, was the long exposure is not long enough. It's kind of silky water.
Right.
It's not choppy. It's not smooth. It looks like another 3 minutes. So now, this may have been you didn't have a dark enough ND filter. You had a 3-stop or a 6-stop, and you needed a 10 or a 13. But you have nice clouds. Your horizon line's in a reasonable place. What do you think?
That's the only thing that I found with, like, the angles. The horizon line looks straight, but then the pier is kind of angled.
I know.
And they kind of compete a little bit with each other. So it was either more angled or more parallel with the horizon line.
See, that's a tough one for the photographer to get around.
Yeah, because you have a limit to your
But there's
the
a
height
post-processing issue here as well. The nasty glows. Look at over here. Look right here under the pier. You can see these glows from your post-processing. You don't want to have these. You got glows, dark glows over here, and you got glows on the outside of all this. That's all got to go away. And there's all kinds of techniques. You know who did a really good thing on this? Unmesh Dinda, the man, the legend. He did a really nice thing on this, on getting rid of glows and all. And we all kind of use the same technique, but still, if you just want to go to YouTube real quick and watch how to do it, you can also, I've done it on my blog, I've done it on Lightroom Killer Tips. But anyway, you got to fix that. And lastly, this is another shot with good potential. I kind of like how close you are to the boats. This is where you desperately needed to pull out your neutral density filter, that ND filter, and you got to back off the HDR going on in that sky.
Yeah.
The sky is overcooked.
Yeah, my eyes are just drawn to the sky, and which takes away from the other nice patterns with the boats are kind of in a nice, array the way they're spaced out. But that definitely, I keep looking at the cloud because they're kind of unique with, they almost look like stripes or something. That's what my attention is drawn to.
Okay, but there's a silver lining in all of this. First off, you need to work on your post-processing. And by that, I mean, just do less of it. Like your amp is on 10. Your amp's not on 10, your amp's on 9. Back it off to 7 or 6, and everything gets better. The Venice picture gets better, right? Because Dave's right, your eyes are drawn to the sky because it looks unnatural and weird. So you fix that. You go to the dock shot, you back off on that, your glows don't glow as much. And here, this is a little overcooked as well. But none of those you need to learn how to use Photoshop.
So one suggestion that I always have for people is that this would be an example to me where it would make sense to work on it and then kind of leave it for a little bit. And when you come back with a fresh set of eyes, and you're like, oh, maybe I did go a little too much. Because when you're in the middle of on the fly of doing it all, sometimes you're like, yeah, that looks pretty good. But if you go away from it and then come back, you're like, oh.
What the hell was I
doing?
So
hopefully it was done in some form of non-destructive way that you can go back and just pull that slider back just a little bit.
All right. So very good. So so that's it. A little bit of photography work, less Photoshop work, but there's a lot of potential there. I like that we're starting off with good potential. Okay. So that's one. Let's take a look at another here and see who we've got. Let's see. Let's go over here. So here we have 3 shots. We're going to show 3 shots, but they're all the same photographer. So every time you see these, you will be seeing 3 shots. Looks like Orthiani, right? Briefly, Michael Jackson's guitar player. She's playing a Paul Reed Smith, by the way. And she's a smoking guitar player. And she's Richie Sambora, the ex-guitar player for Bon Jovi. I'm sure you knew that. Bon Jovi's New Jersey band. Anyway, and then something completely different. So this looks like you're shooting and you went to a concert one night. All right, let's stick to the stuff where you were shooting. What do you think, Dave?
I like that one. I mean, I'd say if anything, maybe the background could be a little more out of focus, a little blurrier, because it's such a great subject in the front and a little pop of red. But I'm still kind of, there's lights there's lights on this. There's just a little bit in the background, too much to pull my eyes there when I want to be looking at the subject. But I think it captured a great pose and the motion with the red cloth. I think that looks really nice.
I think she is fine. I don't mean like that she's fine. I mean like she's fine as is, right? So it's. I think like her pose is good. She looks good. There's very uninteresting light on her. The light is just kind of flat and kind of nothing. So that would be number one. I would definitely bring in some light and light this. If you want to see really great dance photography, go look at Joe McNally. And also Frank Doerhoff has a very good class on lighting dance that is very good.
There's a whole thing on like capturing motion, right? Just, everything about
capturing motion. But he did pretty good here. But here's the thing. You know what would make this shot so much better? First off, Dave is 100%. I agree, 100% on the background needs to be out of focus. Yeah, that looks like an f5.6 background.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but
we need an f2.8 background. That would really separate her. But you've got this pole running right through her body. One way you could kind of eliminate that, and I think this would change the whole shot, you need to be laying down. You need to be literally laying down and make her look big and make those buildings be the backdrop and not that big metal bar. Right. That bar behind you. Now, you might go, well, there's nothing I can do about the bar. Yeah, there is. Shoot someplace else. This is not a great location because of that glass bar. Now, you can be on a roof building, and there's, of course, every roof building generally has some kind of ledge, so you just don't shoot right over the edge. But you shoot really low, and then you don't see that railing or that edge. I think same model, better light, and just a better shooting perspective. I'm not trying to push the platypod. I said lay down. Yeah. You could use a platypod.
But I think it brings up a good point that sometimes, especially if we're shooting on a tripod, we tend to put the tripod down, and that becomes kind of our shooting height. Yeah. And you don't even think about changing that. Go a little higher, go a little lower, and vary it to see what, and you might
this almost looks
get
like,
down and go, wow, that looks so much better.
This is either eye height, like you're standing, or you're just bent down just 6 inches. Yeah. So a perspective change, Dave's right, would make a big difference there. Look at that nice soft background there. Yeah. This is the background the other shot needs. It's a little bit of an awkward pose. It's just a little bit of, I don't think this is a very flattering shot to your dancer's figure. So
now that could well be a ballet dancer because they can pose in many ways that they're just like, oh yeah, I can stand like this, but like it doesn't look like a natural pose that a typical person would. And maybe that's what they're going for, is like, look at this dancer and the lines of her legs with her point shoes. And
the lighting is a little more interesting, but it's not good. you can get, it's not bad lighting because it's not harsh, it's not negative, but you could get a light in here and really make a big difference. So
this one, I feel like the angle's a little better. Seems like there's a little lower because of the lines going up on the
There's
rails.
a lot good going on here. So where the other one, the subject was perfect and all the things around it were messed up. This one, all the things around it are perfect and the subject's kind of messed up. But you're on your way. I mean, you know what you're doing. This is just a little bit, just keep moving down the road because you're there. We're not going to count the Orthiani picture because you were at a concert one night. Anyway, but these are, I think there's some, I like where you're going. I'll just say that. I like where you're going with this. You're in the right zone. Hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got some shout outs. We've got some other stuff. We've got some other news. There's some big news. So we'll talk about the big news when we get back. Woo!
When you need a tripod that is compact, that is portable enough to take with you anywhere, one that is adaptable to any situation, that will prove versatile enough for any shoot, and is compatible with your other gear, giving you freedom to create your own perspective. Look no further. Platypod Ultra does it all. Visit platypod.com for more info.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Grid. Our special guest today is Dave Cross. I would say all the way from Canada, but you've been here 16 years now. So all the way from right down the road, Dave Cross. All right, good to have you here, Dave. We got some shout-outs real quick. Blue Tie says hello from Denver. Andrew's here from Otley. Brian in Iowa, he says, hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to Dave and the blind critiques. Cheeky Nando all the way from Lisbon. That's a different place. Lisbon,
Portugal.
Lisbon, Portugal. Cheeky Nando.
Hey, and someone from North Bay, Ontario. Awesome.
All right. Canada in the house. Eric is here from South Africa, and I saw Dalton was in there somewhere. So Sandy asked, oh, Mimo. Hey, there's Mimo. We were just talking about Mimo on the break. Everyone's here. Dalton says, hello, Grid Nation. Tom's here from San Fernando Valley. Zlatko's here from Serbia. Michael says, hi. Lennon's hi from Germany. And Mag says, hey, Scott, it's me. Mag says hi. Hi, Mags. What's up? All right. So we got some more images to look at. Real quick, we have some big news in the industry. So Adobe today released yet another update to Lightroom. Now, I went and looked at Adobe's website because they have this site where they post all of the things that they've done. They are now releasing updates historically, and Adobe's not said this, so they don't do it, but Every 2 months, new updates for Lightroom Classic and Lightroom CC and Lightroom Mobile, just literally every 2 months. Like, if you go back and look. So I know that Adobe Max is coming up in October. That's 2 months from now. They're on some kind of cycle, but that's great.
Yeah.
Every 2 months.
Well, that was kind of the promise of Creative Cloud was we don't have to wait 18 months. We can do it whenever we have cool new things to give to you.
Well, Dave, they have cool new things every 2 months, apparently. But anyway, one of the big things they come out with, now I've been a big evangelist for the books module of Lightroom. I've been teaching it on my Lightroom tour. I've been just telling people about it. I love it, and I think it's awesome. I never expected them to go back to the books module and add a whole bunch of stuff. They added magazine-style layouts.
Nice.
They added magazine layouts, lay flat books. So now you can do lay flat books as a style. You can also do, there's one other one they did, trade magazine, trade books. So you can, not trade magazines, trade books. So you've got trade books, but also, for the first time ever, the ability to just basically create any page you want. Like right in the thing, you can just create pages. Today over at lightroomkillertips.com, which is the blog I write every day, except for when Rob Sylvan does it. And Rob Sylvan wrote a wonderful article today on all of the updates, the 2018 updates to Lightroom Classic and Lightroom CC. Adobe did announce other updates to mobile, but they haven't launched them yet. But they let us kind of know what's coming. That's all in this article. And if you are a KelbyOne Pro member, today we released Lightroom Magazine. And the cover story is the new updates for Lightroom. So that's all today. So congratulations to Adobe and the Lightroom team. You know, when they update something now, they got to update everything. Like you got Lightroom CC, and then you got Lightroom on mobile, you've got Lightroom on the web, you've got Lightroom Classic. I mean, it's they've got to be like, oh God, 2 months, we got to do this all again. Anyway, congratulations to them. That's really great stuff. Sandy asked a question, and I want to go back and address it. So Sandy asked, what do you mean glows? So I'm going to find that image here somewhere. Hang on one second. Oh, that's not it. One more. Don't move, don't breathe, don't make a sound. I think it's right here. All right. Well, I'm going to have to open it up like in Photoshop proper, or actually I can probably do it right here. All right. So Sandy, if you're watching, do you see that? There are, and there's two issues here. There is a white glow around all the edges. That's not supposed to be there, Sandy. And there is a black glow outside of that. So you have regular water, then watch my cursor over here, my magnifying glass. Then right here starts a black glow. It literally looks like a fog or a haze around the pier. And then there is a white, look like you took a white magic marker and traced the outside of these. Look at this over here. I mean, there's some serious glows going. Look at this. There's a box here. You can see the glow in the box. So there's glows. Those are serious. This is a massive glowage.
And that's definitely an example of the kind of thing that as you're in the middle of editing everything, you just may not notice that because you're pushing sliders too far.
Hey, we've all done it. We've all had glows. I've done it, and I realized, oh my gosh, and I've also gone back and painstakingly fixed them. But anyway, yeah, you can see bigger white glows up here. And then over here, I saw dark glows again. Look at the dark glows. You've also got chromatic aberrations. It's bad. Anyway, that's what the glows are. Okay, let's move on. We have some other, oh, hey, look on my screen. There it is. Here's the issue, the new. Hey, so we redesigned Jessica Maldonado, who is our awesome graphic designer here. Just one of the most talented people I've ever worked with. Just redesigned a new modern look. So it doesn't actually say the word magazine anymore. It's just Lightroom, but we know it's a magazine. But that's the latest cover, and it's a rare one that we do in black and white, but we did black and white. I think it looks really, really good. And of course, you can see at the bottom, one of the cover stories are the Lightroom updates. All right, let's jump back over here to Bridge, which you know I love it so much, the Bridge.
It's your favorite thing in the
world.
My
favorite thing. There's a reason why it's free. Okay, let's go and look over, not here, but at another set of images. I guess we'll start right over here. All right, let's see what we've got here. There we go. This is a barn that the entire world has photographed. I'm guessing that's in just outside of Jackson Hole, in the Grand Tetons, somewhere in Wyoming, because every workshop starts their workshop at this barn. And then there's this one and this one. Now, the best of these three shots is probably this one, but it's not taken in very good light. Mm-hmm. It's not taken in horrible light. It's not a, harsh late afternoon light or something on it, But I tell you what, if you type in barn in Wyoming, you're going to see some fabulous shots. In fact, I'm going to do that for you in just a moment, and we'll look at what you could do if you're there at the right time of day. This is nice. Now, take this barn, shoot it at this time of day, mm-hmm. or maybe half hour before this, and you could have something really nice. Look at those beautiful clouds.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Where am I supposed to look?
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that. It's like, are we looking at the vegetation or?
Yeah. Now, if you were to tell me, if I was talking to the person that shot this, and say, okay, what is this, or what's your subject? And you told me it was the windmills, I'd say nope. That's not your subject.
Now, if they cropped it right at that line and made it a pano, right, to get rid of all that foreground vegetation, I mean, that would
be try, Dave.
Cool.
We've got this program you may have heard of.
You're going to be able to do that.
It's still...
See, I'd go right up to that, where that vegetation stops and the grass begins, and make it a real wide panel. I mean, it's...
That's much better, Dave. Good call. That's much, much better. Light years better.
But it's still, everything still seems far away. It's still...
Yeah, you would need to position yourself where one of those things is the
now,
foreground.
Hanging in the lobby of the wind farm manufacturer, they might
love it. Also, hanging in the lobby of any Hampton Inn, I think would be fine. But yeah, it needs a little work. It's not awful. Like none of these are bad. This one's the best of the bunch.
I just wish there was a little something more in the foreground.
Yes, it is kind of like you're started almost
like
in the middle ground.
Two steps into the lake, and if we could just because it's kind of there on the
it looks
left
like
and right
it's got
corners,
that. It looks like a Hawaii vacation shot kind of thing. So, and this one, let me just do this real quick. Let me switch back to Dave's going to read questions and answer. He's going to answer maybe size question in New Mexico while I go and adjust this thing here. Let me go look at this
What
real
sort of
quick.
things cause those glows, says Cy in New Mexico. So that's basically when you're, often when you're doing HDR type work, then some of the sliders just introduces, because it's almost like a form of sharpening, so it's trying to find an edge, and it accentuates it by saying, well, I'll lighten one side and darken the other, but if you go too far, then that's what happens. So that's that whole idea of move a slider until you start to see it and go, oh, maybe I should just pull that back a bit.
Yeah, a ton of contrast can hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things can accentuate it, but yeah, it's just a little bit over processed. Now, sometimes you go, but what I like this much texture or I like this much detail, but I don't like the glows. You're going to have to clone away for lack of a better term. But before you just start cloning, you have to select the area and then clone. And there's a little bit more to it than that, but that's kind of the basic thing. You're going to have to get rid of it. Where is the? Here we go. 1 second. I'm almost there. Barn in. There's a word I never spell. Wyoming. I'm surprised I could get. Oh, I didn't spell it right. All right, give me 1 second. We'll find a nice barn shot because it should only take about a second. That's a pretty decent one. It's a little over processed. Here we go. We're just going to kind of take a random look. So we're on 500px.com, and this is much better light. You can see for the barn. It's not the best light. That's not the best shot, but it's just one I came up with kind of quick. Here's better light, more interesting, just more interesting stuff. These are just random shots. That's not good. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's not bad. It's just not interesting light. I was looking for the light. The shot's fine. This is, now look at that. That's got nice light falling on the barn. There we go. This is kind of what we were looking for. So yeah, we're just kind of looking for really nice light. That's interesting. And you know what? Look at the, what's the word I'm looking for? The composition here. Now, let's go look at our barn back here. you got like dirt and stuff in front of it. You know what I mean? It's like this is not good. This is not. You got a little work to do on this one.
I'd say that another example to me, if a little lower perhaps on the camera angle might, because we're sort of getting the mountains.
But you're also gonna get that dirt.
Yeah, maybe shooting up a little bit.
All right, we're gonna take a quick look at one more, and then we're gonna have to take a break. Let's go grab another one here. We're as usual, running a little bit behind. Let's take a look at. Hang on. Here we go. This shot could have been epic. These are all nicely carried out shots of not particularly interesting things. So there's nothing wrong with this shot. You got a nice long exposure, and it's reasonably long.
Where do we look, though?
Yeah, it's just kind of you know what it is? You saw a really nice, soft, smooth thing, and you're like, you don't have really interesting clouds. The fishing boat isn't pretty. Where do I look? It's just kind of, but you've nailed an important thing that most people miss. Great light. You know great light, and that's half the battle. And this is close to great light. I like the building. That's I think the City Hall in London, and you've got the Tower Bridge in the background. There's a little bit of a weirdness going on with the building. There's a little bit of like lens weirdness,
distortion.
But it's just like, okay, you were there. It's not like ooh, you know, but it's not bad. This one, you had a puddle in front of you. Go watch the class that was released last week from Mimo Madani, guy we were just talking about. Mimo would have a field day with this shot because he would put a platypod 1 inch above that water, and that water would become a mirror reflection of what's there. Because what is this guy? What are you really showing here? You're drawn to the light.
Right.
Good call. And you got a guy standing there outside a gift stop. Bad call. However, if you'd have put your camera down really low and made a mirror reflection, it would have taken this whole thing up to a completely different level. And the guy in the gift stop on the left with the blown out lights and all that would have been so far in the background you wouldn't notice. So next time, literally get that lens an inch above that background. Use that little puddle. And by the way, it can be every bit that small. And that it's almost like you laid a giant mirror there and you're set. So good stuff. Hey, we got to take a break. We are behind on our breaks. So we're going to take one right now. Stick around. We will be right back here live on the grid. Our guest today, Dave Cross, the Canadian boss. Oh, yeah.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Make sure you don't miss any episodes of The Grid by subscribing to Apple's podcast app or iTunes. It's free, and we even have a special audio-only version, too. So sign up today.
Hey, Scott and Dave here. We're doing blind photo critiques. Hey, just want to mention we announced my worldwide photo walk, and right now we have 579 cities around the world already with walks set up. It is going to be October 6th. It's a Saturday, and everyone's invited. It's free and brought to you by our friends at Canon. This is the 11th year of the Worldwide Photo Walk, and we're generally shooting, and we get every year about 1,000 cities around the world. So to find out if there is a photo walk near you, go to worldwidephotowalk.com, search, and if there's not one near you, maybe you should lead one. You can still apply to lead a walk right up there at the top where it says lead a walk.
It's easy and it's fun.
It's easy, it's fun. My walk is in Innsbruck, Austria. And you know who will be joining me in Innsbruck?
I do not.
Cheeky Nando from Lisbon and
nice.
Other friends. We're all, Team Epic is coming together once again. All right, let's see. Ratna asks, do you have to be a member to submit photos for the Blind Critique? No, this is a public show. It is produced by the fine folks at KelbyOne. But no, anybody can send in their stuff for critique, absolutely. Tom wants to know, where can we find out more when we can submit our photos? Tom, follow me on social. The day before that we're going to do this, I go on Twitter and on Facebook and whatever and say, hey, this is your time. And then the day of, I go, submit them. And then about 2 hours before, I go, last chance. So just follow me on Twitter, Scott Kelby, or whatever. Hey, Dave Cross, you got some stuff to give away.
I do. I have a couple of things, actually. One of them is just fun. Actually, there's two of them, but they're both fun. It's the same thing.
they're both
I'm
fun.
kind of famous for this expression I started saying years ago, is to saying flatten is Photoshop's F word. So I have shirts that actually say that. Flatten Photoshop's F word.
That's kind of naughty,
So
but still not.
A couple of those, and then also have
Very
a
nice.
1-year membership to my online training site, a value of $149.
Sweet. Where can they go learn more about your workshops and stuff?
Learningphotoshop.cc.
Well, that's so clever.
Because I talk about Photoshop CC, so it kind of made sense.
Learningphotoshop.cc. So that's where they can go. Go there. Go there right now. Pull it up in your browser so you won't forget. You can just listen to us in the background. We're not saying anything important anyway. All right.
You can multitask.
Just want to mention real quickly, today on my blog, I want to give you her name, Andrea Stern of Stern Rep. She is a photography rep. She has an incredible, wonderful Instagram page, but she was my guest blogger today. So if you will go to scottkelby.com and check her out, she's basically giving advice to photographers who want to make money, who want to make a living, how to get a rep, what reps do, what they don't, when you know you're ready. But her Instagram is all text. There's no photos, and she just gives advice and answer questions, and it's so good. And you can get to her Instagram from my blog today. So thank you, Andrea, for such a great blog today. So she is she's at Stern Rep, and she's got a whole like ecosystem around helping people. So go check it out. All right, let's look at some more images because we don't have much time today. Here we go. We're going to be a little quicker because we're always too long on the first ones. It's kind of our classic thing. So I want to just make a blanket statement. You don't need to learn more Photoshop. You need to use less Photoshop. That, I would say, that's a common theme today.
Yeah, kind of across the board. It's almost that pull it back a little bit. I mean, they're all so close to being really great, but there's just pushed a little too far.
You know what it is? It's just a meal with too much salt. These are all, was the meal good? Yeah, it was just a little salty. That's what's going on here. It's going on in almost everybody's thing today, except for maybe the dancer guy. So, or gal. So this is a nice shot. Too much vibrance.
Clouds.
And look at the glow around the church. Do you see that white glow? Come on, are you seeing that? Is it just me? Look at the glow. This is the cloud. It's gray and stuff. And this is the glow. There is a huge glow going on here. I was going to back it off here, but I can just go like this. Look at that glow. It's like you put a halo. Wait. It's a church with a halo. Man, that's overprocessed. So you have nice photos that are all over processed. This is so easy to fix. Stop over processing. This is too orange. It's just too much. It's all. These are good photos. Look, you know what you're doing as a photographer. So don't let your post-processing kill good photography.
Again, I would say that a really good strategy is work on stuff, leave it for a while, next day come back with a fresh set of eyes and be surprised how often you kind of go, oh, maybe
yeah, I went too far.
A bit too much.
Well, it's like anything. It's like when you do it too much, you start to get numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember years ago, a photographer showing me a book they had printed of a whole bunch of their HDR photos, and by the third page, I found myself kind of going,
I know who it is. I know who. I'm not going to say it. I know exactly who you're talking about. I mean,
they were great, but after a while, it was kind of like, another one.
Oh, I know who.
It just needs to be
I know
pulled
who
back
you're
just a bit.
talking about. Ah, yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right, moving on. Here we go. Well, 3 shots here. This is one. I don't know how that boat is going uphill like that. I'll give you my 30-second critique. That's a boat. This is an unfortunate shot of... So you have the cameraman back in there, right? In the group. And the writers could not look more bored. And you have a whole bunch of other stuff that has no business being in this shot. So step 1 would be to crop this in a whole bunch. Step 2 would be anything would be more interesting than seeing the cameraman. And you're going to go, well, he was there. Right. So you're not going to be able to shoot this group of writers. People, I do notice how often they'll just go, well, that's the way it was. And I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, that means it's not really good for...
if there was more intensity on the bike riders themselves, then maybe getting even closer in on them. But like you said, they're just kind of like, oh, we're at that part of the race where we're just
they just kind of look like, there's unfortunately, there's just nothing going on here good. This is like, I'm sorry.
And it's hard to get a sense of motion when they're coming right at you. So it's almost like you need the dramatic faces
strain. Are they getting ready to start?
Getting close. Yeah. Has it just begun or are they getting...
Yeah, this one just... So this is a boat. And this is an out-of-focus airplane. This is the best one of them, but it's seriously out of focus. I mean, the plane is not sharp. And your prop spin isn't very good. Your prop spin needs some work. You got to watch, either get Moose Peterson's book if you're going to shoot aviation, or watch Moose's class. Find out what shutter. He actually gives you the shutter speeds to get different kinds of prop blur. But
this almost seems to me that it was taken from further away and just kind of zoomed in artificially as opposed to...
Yeah, maybe that's why it
has that
soft.
Sort of softness.
But this is the best one of the group by far, and it's out of focus. I'm sorry, you got a little work to do.
A little bit of dehaze on those clouds, though, would just give them a little more pop. Wouldn't help with the out of focus bit.
Yeah. But this is just a picture of a boat. I'm sorry, it's just a picture of a boat. It's not like a beautiful boat. It's not in beautiful light. It's not doing anything interesting, and it's not an interesting place. It's not an interesting time of day. It's just a boat. Anybody that walked up and pulled out their iPhone would get this shot exactly like what you have there, except for their horizon line would probably be straight.
They always talk about make your photos tell a story. You said this story would be, this is a boat, the end.
Yeah, the story is, this is a boat. These are bicycle riders that don't look enthused. This has potential, which is my hope for you. That has some potential. All right, so you got a little work to do. I would say your issue is, you need to shoot more interesting things, and then you need to shoot them in a more interesting way, and try to do it in more interesting light. Add those 3 things together, because you're shooting boring things in bad light. So it's not like, I don't know how to run my camera. You notice I didn't say your exposure's wrong. You don't know what you're doing. It's not that. You're shooting boring things in bad light at the wrong time. Let's take a look at this one. Now, this is kind of interesting. London's big in our things today. I see the Shard. You ever go up the Shard?
No, walked by it.
You should go up the Shard. They have an elevator. You can take one up the Shard. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, I'm back. One like that. Somebody got it. So I'm going to give some advice to this photographer. This is a good photographer. But I think you're getting suckered into taking something based on, like, this is a frame, right? You have a line in a frame, and that is a photographic, what would you call that, a device? Mm-hmm. You saw still water in good light. Those are both devices. And you saw someone's butt in the air, which, of course, is a device. So you're good at composition, and you understand good light. This one's a little over-processed, but it's not like the end of the world like what we saw earlier, but it's still, you could back it off a little, it would be a little bit better. But I think you're getting suckered into, like, there's a frame. I like your post here, but just putting it in a frame doesn't make it awesome. But I like where you're going. I think you got some good stuff. This is on the verge of a pretty shot. Yeah. But it has that missing focal point. Now, it has some things. It's got a foreground with glows. Do you see that?
Bit of a glow.
Do you see the glow right there? Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, I can't zoom. I forgot. There is a glow there. Mm-hmm. It just zoomed for no reason. But there's a glow there. You got to fix that, okay? And let me back off here. So I don't know if I can back off. It's just
white thing. Is that can't tell if that's a reflection or what that
I got to see if I can zoom out. I've made such a mess here. Well, there goes my screen here. We need to take a break anyway. We're going to come back and pick up right there. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to figure out what happened to my screen, and then we'll come back. Dave Cross is here. Did I mention that? He's from Canada. Hey everybody, Scott Kelby here with Mr. Larry Becker.
And I'm here because we have an awesome new class for you, all about travel photography, but not what you think.
Right, it's about traveling right and making sure you have the things that you need, that you get where you gotta go, and we cover a whole bunch of stuff that'll really make your photo trips much, much better.
Things like, which bag should you carry? If you go big, what do you add into the bag?
Right, and if you go light and you're going to be with your family, you don't want to carry that much gear, what's the solution there? I'm going to show you exactly how to pack it, what I do to make the most of these trips. And I also break down all the gear that I use. I'm going to take you camera bodies, lenses, the whole 9 yards, and a bunch of little accessories you're going to want to know about. At the end of the shoot, at the end of the day, what's your backup strategy? How do you protect your images when you get back to your hotel room at night?
And then we're going to talk about what you do when you get home with your images.
The class is called The Photographer's Guide to Traveling Right.
And it's exclusively on KelbyOne.
Hi there, this is Unmesh from Pix Imperfect, jam-packed with powerful tricks and techniques. In this class, we will let Photoshop amaze you. We will learn the fundamental tools in such a way never imagined. In this class, we will not only learn stuff which is mind-blowing, but also at the same time, we will learn stuff which you wished was easier, and we'll make it as simple as ABC. If you ever wanted to learn some tips and tricks that would revolutionize your workflow and that you can actually apply, and also how they actually work so that you can apply it in your own way, this class is just the one for you. This is Unmesh Dinda. Join me on my latest class, Jaw-Dropping Tricks and Techniques in Photoshop, only on KelbyOne.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Mimo Meidani. I'm a long exposure photographer and welcome to Venice. Today in our class, I'm going to teach you the long exposure. In order to do that, we need to work on the filters, how to set the filters, how to set the camera, how to use our remote control, how to compose, and all of that. And in the end, I'm going to go to my Lightroom and Photoshop to teach you how to do the best editing with the black and white Lightroom and Photoshop. Come check out my class on long exposure photography exclusively at KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we're back. All right, did you sign up for my room? Did I mention I have one open spot?
You did.
I filled it too. I shouldn't have to fill it twice, but I do. One open spot. Want to go run with me next month? Yeah, you do. Anyway, Mimo, the ad you just saw, he's my co-teacher. He's great. He's great at black and white, great at post-processing. He is the king of long exposures. He knows long exposure on a level. And I did a Venice workshop with him. By the end of the week, all of my students, they knew it cold. They wouldn't shoot a shot if it wasn't like, can we do ND? Can we do long exposure? No, I'm not shooting it. No, he's wonderful. You will love him. Also, did you see my new class? My brand new class came out. It is a photographer's guide to traveling right. So it's really about how to pack and all the other things, how to get on airlines and things. And I actually show you how I pack my bag. We mounted a camera up in the ceiling so I could pack my bag. I went through all my gear. I went through all kinds of, it's about everything else but the actual shoot. So it's about everything to get there, be success, protect your stuff, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you'll check it out. It's brand new. It comes out today, right? Today-ish? Christina's kind of nodding. Yeah, she's like, yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be today. All right. Let's look at another. Here we go. 3 shots. Dave?
So I have this love-hate relationship with black and white photography where, to me, there has to be a compelling reason for it to be black and white. And for these, I'm not sure what that reason is. I mean, it's for a wedding, it looks a little more classic, but like the girl on the motorcycle is like, and the portrait, and I think people look at black and whites almost a little more critically, don't you think? Like, because they're expecting them to be, if you're going to be black and white, you got to do it really well.
You got to nail it. And I think a lot of people convert to black and white to try to make it look more like a real photo. Mm-hmm. Like it can also be a crutch. You're like, this isn't that great, and you make it black and white, and it goes, well, that looks more professional. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. So you got a lot of work to do here. All right, well, we'll start here. Now, I like her, and I really want to like her. She has an interesting smile and an interesting face, and she's like somebody you want to hang out with. You know, like, hey, let's get a beer. Like, she's got a very likable face, but you have done her no good. This looks like it was lit with a car headlight, or it was lit with a torch of like a big flashlight from Home Depot. It's not flattering to her. Her pose is not flattering. I mean, it's like terrible, terrible light. Now, if you're using a softbox, you're using it wrong. I don't know what's going on here. The light is directly in front of her, it looks like. I'm looking at the catch lights in her eyes. I would have her do less big of a smile as well. Just, it doesn't need to be quite that big, but the lighting there's so much bad going on with the lighting here. The background's way too dark. You didn't do anything to balance the ambient light with the light. So light from your flash is supposed to make it look like light, not like flash. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to go, oh, you used a flash. I think you used 10 flashes. It's
and the pose with someone standing with their arms
yeah.
close, especially when she has handlebars she could be holding on to.
Yeah, this is not a flattering pose. And she's got such a nice smile, and she seems like a really sweet person, and she deserves better than this. Same thing here. It's an awkward crop of the photo. So when you take off just the tip, people look and go,
missed a bit.
If you're going to take off a good third or 2/3 or something. Make it look like this was not a mistake. And let's see. It's not a great pose. The black and white isn't flattering. It's just, I can't tell anything about her. There's no story. Mm-hmm. It's a person.
My impression is it's almost like someone's daughter who was like, really, Dad?
Really? I got to take this picture? Really? Okay.
And they may have been going for that kind of, pensive look, but
it's not pensive.
Didn't quite work.
It's annoyed. And this one, if it wasn't posed it looks really posed. It looks like you said, okay, kiss him. And it's weird. Go to 500px and look at type in bride kissing groom, and you will see pictures that are so romantic and it's not the way they look. It's an awkward pose. You can get an incredibly romantic picture of these two people.
Now, just for my opinion, I have rarely seen a photograph where having someone's nostril is a benefit. You know, looking up into their nostril just doesn't. I can't think of too many occasions where.
Yeah, that's the nostrils. It's why they shoot like volleyball from up high. Mm-hmm. Every sport's shot down low except for volleyball because people are jumping up in the air. What do you get? Shots of nostrils. It's a nostril fest. Yeah, you know what I think would really help you a lot, and it's not camera technique. It's not a better camera. Don't go buy any more gear. Don't buy a better light. Don't buy a better flash. You need to go study the work of the photographers that you're trying to emulate. You need to go look at beautiful photography work. Go to 500px and type in bride and groom, and you're going to go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing? Then go look at portraits. And even write portraits on a motorcycle, and you're going to go, oh. And then look for headshots, and you're going to go, oh. This is really, you're just kind of shooting what's there. You really, this is literally not nothing. Put your camera down and go start studying. You don't have to read books on how to do this. You don't have to watch classes. You need to look at photographs and start, because I think what you're shooting with is no goal. Like, I don't really know what I'm just gonna, okay, you kiss him, kiss her. It's like, no. And you could tell me, and I'm sure that you would, they loved it. Mm-hmm. Bride and grooms always like their photos, except for in extreme cases where they sue you. But outside of that, you know, nobody goes, yeah, I hate these pictures of us. You know, you got some work to do, but your work isn't in the camera. Study. Go to 500px, look, and you will see. All right, let's take I think we have a chance for like one more maybe. Let's see what we've got here. Let me just look at a couple. We already saw that one. Like Dave, we're gonna do the lightning round, and a lightning round means we're just gonna go through real quick, like, and we just. So really, 30 seconds on each one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, shots are out of focus. Yeah. The wildlife photos, the absolute minimum, the bar to entry is the eyes tack sharp. These are way out of focus. This one's close. Yeah. These two are out. They're like, pull them out. I like that you're nice and tight and your background's out of focus, but yikes. All right, next one. Dead trees. Pole where you should have used a long exposure in the background would have saved your sky. That streaky nice that you see in architectural shots would have been nice. This is really nice. That's really nice. Yeah, this is great. All right, can we stop the show for a second? Stop. Stop. Everyone stop. Okay, I'm going to talk about the dead tree. Can I wait a minute? Just wait 1 second. I'm going to give props to somebody. Hang on. All right. This guy on Instagram, this is what a dead tree shot looks like. If your dead tree shot doesn't look like this, don't do it. This guy, Greg Boriton, I saw this shot on Instagram, and I screen captured it because everybody keeps shooting dead trees because they all saw a great dead tree shot one day. This is what a dead tree, if your dead tree doesn't look like this, this is okay. This is an acceptable. Do you want to see completely unacceptable?
Makes it look, a great dead tree is not the tree itself. It's everything else about the lighting.
Yeah, but look at the light on the tree.
Exactly.
But Dave, that's a fascinating route. Mm-hmm. I mean, to that tree. Yeah, yeah. And then you have this. Come on. Stop shooting dead trees until you see one that looks like that guy's shooting. I take my hats off to that guy. I'm like, I would have shot that dead tree. That was awesome.
The only reason I would look at this as a potential keeper was as a compositing background. If you're
to put something in front of it.
In front of it to be like a creepy, interesting background.
Yep.
But
All right, we're running out of time. What do we got here? Rome. A statue off to the right. This is nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, see how nice this is? Picture this in good light and without the glow around the mountains. Okay? Picture this same exact shot at dawn or dusk, and you have a fantastic shot. You've got a good shot that wants to be a fantastic shot a couple hours later. So that's really nice.
This is why I feel like tilting my head was my first reaction, like something just doesn't seem, maybe the statue itself isn't
Something's
straight.
crooked.
Something's crooked.
No, I think, look, the
base of the
statue's
statue.
crooked. It's the street across this. I mean, the statue's straight, and the across the way is crooked. It's tilting down, but this is just, I was in Rome. Go to 500px and type in the name of that castle. I can't remember the name of it. It's right behind you. You're standing, and right behind you is St. Peter's Basilica. Is right behind you. And that's a beautiful bridge at night, and everyone's on it. And I've seen some gorgeous pictures from there. I'd go check those out. But, I mean, you know how to run your camera. You know what you're doing here, and you just get a little better light on all of these. Time of day. You're a time of day person. This is terrific. These. Yay. Someone's really trying to do something here, and they're doing it in a clever way. Really muted colors. And then you've got this bright punch of a Gerber daisy, and then a sunflower, and then that other thing. What is that, Dave? An iris?
It looks like, something like that. But
we don't know.
Definitely some great creativity going on.
These have good lighting. Look at the lighting and creativity and all. This is really good stuff. I love the creativity and all that. This is really, really good. Yay, whoever did this. Wish I knew their name. I would give them some love. Dave, what's this?
A boat. The end.
Yep, that's a boat.
Going the other direction.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know, a long exposure would have made that special.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting. Because of the clouds and the semi-sun. Is that a sun? It's got to be the sun, right?
Not sure if I like it right on top of the lighthouse, lined up, because it looks like
you know
it's
what?
Sitting
It's
on
hard to move the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it depends when you're standing, but got a nice little.
There's this program called Photoshop. I don't know if you heard about it, but
heard about it.
Anyway,
Cool.
Except for the shot that you took a tourist boat picture like the other person, that's just not enough. Now, that tourist boat without the tourists at the right time of day could be spectacular. Otherwise, it's a tourist boat. Well, guys, we've run out of time for today. So I do want to mention a couple things before we roll. You can learn how to win the contest. We've got great stuff from Dave Crush. Show the shirt.
Sure.
And it's not naughty what he says.
No.
Just writing the words, the F word, is perfectly fine.
Oops. Flatten. It's Photoshop's F word.
There you go. Dave is very big on non-destructive editing. And we've got...
Brand new.
Man, you can smell the ink. Smell that ink.
Oh, it smells like a new book.
It's very inky. Dave, you also have a...
Oh, yes, the 1-year subscription to my online training site, learningphotoshop.cc.
Learningphotoshop.cc.
How do you know that was my theme song? It's crazy.
I knew it. Victoria Pavlov's. You'll have to tell us which one you want to win. Our one-on-one with Victoria, Lens Pro to Go, best people on earth, and the greatest invention ever made in the history of photography. Glad pot. I just love it. All right.
Just think how many times today you said, if get down low with your camera, if they had one of those, they could do it.
I'd have been using them years ago. All right. So where do you go to win these? Go to KelbyOne.com/contest. Give us your name, your social security number, your credit card, your address to your house. No, just tell us who you are. But you have to tell us in the little form down lower what you want to win. I want to win the big platypod. I want to win the little platypod. I want to win Dave's shirt. I want to win Dave. I want to win Dave's workshop. All that stuff. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Oh, so we had a gallery showing on Friday with Ramtin Kazami, and he was Kazemi. He was amazing. Super, super nice guy. Incredible artist. We reran it on Tuesday, and you can actually go to my Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/skelby, and you can watch the entire interview with him. Very inspiring and very funny. And Larry, of course, isn't a... Larry Becker's just the best. Is there anybody that does the interviews? I told Larry, I saw him the other day, how are you not on a big TV show?
I've said that for years to him.
He's so good, and he's so quick-witted, and just, he's such a natural. It's really, really great. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Dave, once again, where can people learn more about you?
Learningphotoshop.cc.
Learningphotoshop.cc with Dave Cross, the Canadian boss. I want to thank my crew here, Christina, who was moderating today, and you were very moderate. Chris, our studio audience, entirety. Juan, hey, can we go to, real quickly, Juan's Instagram, underscore Juan Alfonso? Is it underscore still? Look at that, 938, it keeps creeping up. He's got a picture of Mimo there. That's Mimo. Hey, that's the Mimo. And then there's the shot that haunts me. Top row, right corner. Every time I see it, I'm like, I was right there. How did I miss that shot? Look at that. That's a kick-ass shot.
Nice.
Because you know why? Number one, it's good light. Number two, look how perfectly he framed the guy, the gondolier, and it's nice water. It's just all good. Everything
tells a story.
It tells the story, yeah. And it tells the story how Scott missed the shot, which is really what the story is. But Juan's a good photographer. I don't feel so bad. Anyway, go follow him, underscore Juan Alfonso on Instagram. Are you on the gram?
I am. PS Guy Dave Cross.
PS Guy Dave
Everything's
Cross.
a theme song.
Any underscores?
No, just...
you can add one.
I could.
Anyway, thank you very much for being on the show, Dave.
My pleasure.
Great. It was a lot of fun having you here. Thanks to my crew. Thanks to the crew in the booth, Ron and who's in there? Jason? Sure it's not Layton? Oh, Layton's there too today. All right, good to have everybody there. We'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. At one point or another, everybody goes to New York City, and I get so many emails and so many comments online that say, I'm going to New York. What lens should I take? What gear should I have with me? What accessories? And where should I shoot? Where can I go get great pictures in New York? One of the tips I want people to realize is the power of a wide-angle lens, which is getting a really, really low perspective. When you do that, it makes things look epic. Getting that incredibly smooth, silky water that almost looks like glass, it really changes everything. And when people see these shots, it has an impact you can't get any other way. And I think the exciting thing is coming back with shots where people are like, where's that? That's in New York? You took that? Oh my gosh. That's the kind of thing that I want to convey in this class. So join me and Mr. Larry Becker as we take you through a photographer's guide to New York City. And it's exclusively here at KelbyOne.